welcome aboard. I'd like to take you on the next step of our journey as we leave Rome, going up to Pisa and then Florence. It's a beautiful, beautiful region of Italy, and I think you're going to enjoy the time there. I'm David Day with My Retirement Quest, helping you have a happy, healthy, and fulfilling retirement. Travel is one of my passions, and so I'd like to bring you along on my anniversary trip. And I've got a link to the whole series if you've thought about a Mediterranean cruise or would like to see what it would be like. Click on my sequence of videos and you'll actually be able to go and be a vicarious enjoyer of our trip.
Here
we are in Pisa. This is the baptistry. Look at the detail. This whole complex is surrounded by the original walls. Those plants that are in between the bricks, those are actually caper plants. We came through the main gate there. This is a cathedral here, and there you can see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Get it from a different perspective. Here we are at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. This is actually the bell tower for this cathedral that is sitting here. We're not able to go in it because it doesn't open until 10. And we're here in an early morning to beat the rush, which worked splendidly, but not a problem.
The very top part is almost straight.
See, they started making the correction after the third level. Yes, I see. Look at that. And there's 3 different architects. The third had to complete it after the second died. The first one gave up, though, once he built the first 3 levels. Well, as you can imagine, one of the things that I was so looking forward to was that visit to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But look at the decorations above the doors. I was struck by how they took the opportunity to decorate so beautifully. Like, look at that mosaic there. Isn't that just amazing? And yet it's just above the door, but it's this beautiful scene. And one of the things I do wish I understood and had done a better job was to understand what each of these images represented. Like, each one of those panels on the door tells a story. It's usually a scene from scripture, and it takes them many, many years to prepare those. But here's another example of a beautiful mosaic. And I just, you know, when you stand and you look, even look at those columns that are carved. The door is carved. And they're not carved just to be beautiful. They're carved to tell a story. And they're carved to tell a story from Scripture. And it's just an amazing, amazing experience. These are 3 doors. Everything has symbolism, you know, 3 doors, 3 crosses, probably. Well, did you enjoy Pisa? I hope you did. So Florence was about an hour away, and so we were on a tour that day. So we started with Pisa very early in the morning. We ended up going to Florence. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up with this in the kind of the square of Florence. Pay close attention to things like the cobblestones, and as I pan around throughout this square.
On the other side, 2 perose. So here the artist, more the
All right, now we're going to look at the Italian Gothic building, the Cathedral of Florence. It was constructed and finished around 1367. There's the bell tower. And each one of these structures is significant. You can see the dome. We'll talk about that in a bit. The front of that facade was actually not completed till the 1800s. Now, this structure is the baptistry. Now, this Florence baptistry was actually the earliest. So this building, the baptistry building, was constructed between 1059 and 1128. It took Ghiberti 21 years to complete these panels. Michelangelo referred to these doors as the gates of paradise. So here we have Adam and Eve, and then we see Cain and Abel offering their sacrifice. Then we see Abraham offering Isaac, and we see Noah before the flood. Isaac, Esau, and Jacob are depicted in this scene, and here we are, Joseph in his court. Then we have Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, and then we have Moses receiving the words from the Lord on Mount Sinai. And this is a close-up of Abraham offering his son Isaac to the Lord. So starting with the baptistry, you're going to notice I'm going to pan around so you can see the Florence Cathedral there. But do you notice this bell tower? This is the bell tower by Giotto, and it was built from 1334 to 1359. And then of course you can see the dome. So the best views of Florence are either from that bell tower or from the top of the dome. Now I did not have a chance to climb to the top of that dome. In fact, there's over 4,000 tiles that make up that dome. And that dome in Florence was quite the feat of engineering, as I understand it, as well. And it actually stood for a little bit of time without any of the tiles. It took quite a bit of time. The original architect died, and so some other people had to complete it later. Now this may be a section that if you have little children or don't want to explain what you're going to see as I look at these statues, this might be you might consider it as adults only. Just for your warning here. But this is a beautiful, there are all sorts of statues, and it's just really remarkable. When you travel to Europe, there's a lot more openness about nudity and things of this nature. So these statues are there, and they're right out in front of God and everyone, so to speak. So it is something that's quite eye-opening for us as Western tourists, but it is part of what makes Italy interesting. And now you're in for a treat. Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge. And it is the first segmental arch bridge that was built in the West. It was constructed in 1345, different from the Roman construction. As you can see, there were fewer piers in the stream. And in fact, this was the only bridge that the Germans did not destroy as they were receding from World War II. This is one of those examples of which I was not prepared in any way. I mean, we walked into this cathedral and there are these gorgeous paintings, and they depict something very important, but even today I don't know. And if you actually know the significance of these two paintings, I would love it if you listed in the comments below. It's just one more example of how little that we knew in advance of our trip to the Mediterranean. So it is something. This is Galileo's. This is where Galileo was buried, and it's just so interesting to me that it's a step back in time. This is Michelangelo's.
What happened to many churches is that the ceiling will change in this style, because after the influence of the Gothic style, they added bolts painted along the line in this style with blue color, gold stars, and so on. So this is one of the very few churches left in the usual way. The Gothic influence, though, is quite visible in the arches, which are pointed instead of being round, and in the stained glass window dating back to the late 1300s. Now, all the castles that I see are designed of the late 13th and 1400s. The architecture is very specific, and then it would have many episodes of the Bible. People would learn directly from it. But then in 1534,
You know, it is interesting when I'm standing in these structures, centuries old, right? Beautiful, beautiful pictures and glorious embellishments and things of this nature. Like, I was really struck by the roof, one of these domes. You notice those colors? Green, yellow, blue, and kind of an ivory color. I mean, even some purple there. Isn't that a glorious combination of colors? It's absolutely breathtaking. Well, I hope you've been enjoying this adventure as much as I have preparing it for you. Once again, I'm David Days, My Retirement Quest, helping you have a happy, healthy, and fulfilling retirement. If this is a topic that interests you, I'd love it if you like and subscribe, and remember to hit that bell notification, and look for the playlist that will list all the stops. Our next, we're nearing the end, so our next stop is going to be in Marseille, France, and then we're going to Barcelona. So that'll be our next video. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a wonderful day.